Why gotta be like that? Why gotta get in a knot? Why gotta do that? It's really not nice. Hello, how are you all doing? Today, I'm going to show you the dimensional triangle earring. Of course, those of you who are avid bead tutorial, watchers know that there's a lot of Russian bead weavers that make this kind of thing. And TC Beads did a tutorial on these, sadly towards the end of her life. But hers were a little different than mine, because she made them one-sided, whereas most of us remember that beaded beads tend to have a back and a front. Hers didn't have like a back; it was just the textured front. Well, mine have a back and a front, because I don't know. I wanted to challenge myself and see if I could make that work, and I did. I made a pair of earrings. Oh, this is a while ago now. I saw in my Facebook feed that I made a little short video about this last year. It's been an entire year that I haven't, and I've been meaning to make these into a video. So, okay, that's the original set. So today I've got this one made, just the front side. See? Just the front. If you want to watch TC do it, you can go to her channel and see it. But, yeah, it's basically a shaped, flat Cellini stitch. So, whenever that's involved, we know that we need several different sizes of beads in, of course, whatever colors you like. I've got some lime 15s, rocailles, just rounds. These are pink treasures. They're Tohos. These are Tohos as well. These are Miyuki neon yellow 11 rounds. And I've got some Toho 8s in like a salon pink, bright pink. It makes a cool combination, as you can see. Same beads, but together they look really neat. Anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the back to this, because it's all the same. You just have to make one side a little bit bigger. I think of putting these beads together like a box, right? The back has to be a little smaller for the top to fit over it so it can zip like that. You know what I mean? I hope so, because I don't have any other analogies to make. So what I'm going to do is pick up 3 delicas and bring them down. I usually leave, I don't know, about 3 inches or so of tail, just so I have something to hang on to more than anything. If you want to make a knot and cut it, that's fine too. But I like to have something like a handle to hold on to. There we go. We have the little triangle. Okay. A delica and a 15. And you go through the next bead in the triangle. I like to keep the delicas to the left side so that it's easier for me to visualize and to remember where I am. So here we go. Delica 11 or 15. Delica 15. Whoop. And then pull that tail out of the way and we're going to step up. Those of you who've made beaded beads before will know that the trick with these is all in the on the corners. That's how we make our changes in colors and shapes and sizes. Okay, now that we've got that, we start with an 11. Yeah, I think Delica 11 round. And you want to flatten them, kind of like, that's what you see me doing with my fingers, because it's like a herringbone, right, there in the corners. So you kind of want your beads to lay correctly, or it'll be harder to see, where you're at in your weaving. Now we're on a flat part of the triangle, and we're coming out of a 15. So we're going to add a 15, and this is where it gets very much like Cellini. It, as some of you may know, whatever bead you're coming out of is the one you add. And that's how you get that spiral with it, right? So I'm going to add a delica in an 11 round. Go through that 15. Coming out of a 15, so we add one. At the corner again. So we add a delica and an 11. Sorry, I'm just going to move that tail. There we go. So delica and 11 round through the 15. Add a 15. And here we are at the beginning again. Because there's 3 delicas there. You see between my thumbs? That's how you know that you've got all the way around. Sometimes it's easier to go up one at a time. There. It'll get especially essential to do that when we get further around. Alright, so now that we've added the 11, we can add a delica and 8 at the corner there. So I just put on an 11 round. I'm going to add a 15 now. And a delica, an 8. Going through that 11. Add an 11. Through the 15. Add a 15. Through the delica. Delica and an 8. Oops. And an 11. And through the 2 delicas here on the corner. There we go. Now we're going to go for Delica, an 11. And then an 8. So that's how I think of it. It's basically like a regular Cellini on the sides, and it's the corners that are potentially confusing and perilous. That's where all the changing happens. And the yellow. So Delica and 11 round. 8. $11. Oops, sorry. Hold it backwards. 15. Delica. And an 11. Eight. $11. Oops. $15, and then it's time to step up. All right. Now we're going to start going down in size. So, yeah. Now we are going to do a Delica and a 15. Because there's kind of nowhere else to go once you get to your biggest size. And we grab an 11, go through that second big 8. Grab an 8. Head on through this 11 on the side. Like that. Start to pull now. Don't be scared. Grabbing it on 11. And 15. Through the delica on the corner. And now delica 15. That. 11. Through the 8. Oops. Grab a new 8. Through the 11 there. 11. Through the 15. Oops. You'll see it starts to do this kind of little dance here. Kind of wiggles around. That's what you want. That's why we're doing all this. If you wanted it flat, you would use all one size. Okay, adding a 15. Delica 15. There's that 11 there. And we're gonna take an 11. Head on through here. Through that 8. 8. There we go. 11. Through the 15, so we're picking up a 15. And we're at the end, so through that one delica. And the next one. There we go. Okay. So we're going to do the same pattern again. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to add 2 delicas on each corner, following the same kind of Cellini deal that we've been doing on the sides. All right. Ta-da! That's what we have. So now what we're doing is, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Right, we're gonna do a delica and a 15 again. Why? Because we're gonna be making another kind of stripe. The pink is gonna start coming out this way again. See? That's what we're working on here. The yellow always flanks the 8s, the 11s, and there's a little tiny stripe of delicas that is flanked with the 15s. If that makes sense to you. That's how I kind of look at this, is by like size and color and what goes where and stuff. That's the only way I can keep this in my head clearly. Otherwise it's just like, it's too many numbers. And I'm just not that way when I think. I think, you know, in terms of visuals. So if that helps, then good. I hope it does, because that's the only way I can kind of make sense of this. Otherwise, I'm just dancing in the dark, and it doesn't feel good. I don't like dancing in the dark, even though I really like Bruce Springsteen. He's awesome. A lot of people might be too young to understand that joke. Bruce Springsteen is an American rock and roll star who started out with his E Street Band. He wrote Born in the USA, a classic album all about Vietnam. Such a good album. Although when I was a kid, I thought his butt was really funny. This is a picture of his jeans, the back of him in his jeans on the cover. I remember that seemed offensive. And I was in kindergarten when I brought that album to school, because the teacher said, bring an album that you like to listen to at home, and we'll listen to it. And everybody else brought Raffi and Liam, stuff like that, and I brought Born in the USA. My teacher was like, what? She told my mother, do you know that your daughter listens to this rock and roll music? My mother was like, yep. We don't listen to children's music in our house. It's lame. Wow, that was some kind of digression right there. These are the things, you know, that go through the mind when you're doing this kind of a stitch that's really relaxing and meditative and all that. Part of what can be confusing about this pattern is that sometimes it feels like you have to really travel a distance to get through the next beat. Like right here, I'm adding an 11 and it's going to go on top of this pink 8. But, you know, it's kind of counterintuitive. It feels like, you know, until you pull, it feels like there's this, you know, like you should be adding more than one bead. But don't let that fool you. It's a lie. It's not true. So, delica 11 through the 15. Yeah. That's what's so magical about these beads, is that you get these bands of color and they look like they're wrapping around and around. It's just so, like, wow. Hypnotic. And if you made these shapes even bigger, you could make even more of that crazy spiraling action happen. It's so neat. Delica 11, 15, Delica. Oop, no. Get there. Stepping up. Okay, now we've got that. Mm, 11. Right, now we have the pink. 8. So, Delica, 8. On the corners. We're getting close here to being all done. Typically at this point in the pattern, you would add a Delica and an 8 on the corner of your triangle to keep the pattern consistent. But I don't want to do that because I've already got 3 8s going on right here on each corner of this side of the triangle, the front side. So what I'm going to do instead, and hopefully it works, I've never tried it, so forgive me. What I'm going to do instead is I am going to add just, I think a Delica will work. And then I'll carry on as usual on the sides here, just to size up. Alright, so I've gone around, added that extra round of beads, and I've got that one single Delica on each corner now. So, like I was saying, this is more of an art than a science. So it's not as obvious what to do. At least I don't think so. What I am going to do is just, with as minimal invasion as I can, or invasiveness as I can on the shape of the beadwork, which we went to a lot of trouble to make, I'm just going to do my best to line up the colors. When you zip 2 sides of peyote together, normally there's like you line up the up and down beads on either side and they go together like teeth. Because they're all the same size, they're all delicas normally, so it's easy to see where they should go. But in this case, it's trickier because of the shape, the wavy sides, and because of the different sizes of beads. So you see what I'm saying? Like we've got this curve going on, which is both sides leading into each other, and that's sort of what you want, right? It's more aesthetically pleasing than trying to obsess over up beads and down beads and all that, because this is somewhat malleable, obviously. And once you get it where you want it, you can poof it out again, like just pinch it and everything will come back into shape. So just take your time, do it in a way that makes sense to you, and hopefully your curves line up the way you like. And remember, if something doesn't work, then, just add a few more beads. Like, do what you gotta do to make it happen for you. But now you know kind of the general recipe for this bead. So I'll go around it, I will finish it, and there will be a picture of it. So thanks for watching. Please do consider subscribing. It's free. Turn that subscribe button that you see from red to gray by clicking on it, and then click on the bell icon that shows up once you click it, because then you'll be notified of future uploads, so you don't have to check. You'll just know, like magic. Thanks. Bye.